Good Sunday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are starting off with mostly quiet conditions here across southeast Texas. Galveston looking mostly clear, calm, quiet. Even the waves are not even that big out there in the Gulf. Southeast winds at 8 miles an hour. It is humid out there. It's already feeling like 97 degrees out along the coast. Houston, we're still looking at some hazy skies, but it's better than what we've seen in the past 48 hours. 81 degrees right now if you are heading out the door. East-southeast winds at 8 miles an hour. So as we look at our hourly planner for today, we will see those high temps top out in the lower 90s, but we do have a rain chance that will be starting to creep in by the 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. hour. So we do have a chance for an isolated downpour that could be moving through our area. So just keep that in mind, that rain chance still in the picture. So don't be surprised if you do see that downpour making it into your area. It might cause some wet roadways, but rain chances very well isolated for this afternoon. So far, ultimate high today, 93 degrees, few clouds, isolated evening storms expected, that 30% chance of showers lasting. Radar right now, as of 8 o'clock this morning on Sunday, we are seeing mostly clear conditions. However, they're still dealing with quite a bit of scattered shower and storm activity. This time it's just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That system is not as strong as it was for the past 48 hours that has impacted central Texas. And this is looking at the 72-hour rain totals across those major rivers. You have the Colorado that snakes north of Austin that moves into Lake Travis. You also have the Guadalupe River that's just to the south of Kerrville. So between close to 18 inches of rain within the past 72 hours, even out in Kerrville, close to 10 to 12 inches of rain. This was around Thursday, but then as of yesterday and the night before, we saw more of the heavier showers just to the north of Kerrville, now impacting the Llano and the Colorado rivers as that snakes southward. So they're still dealing with quite a bit of rainfall. There was a flash flood warning that was still in place for a portion of Mason County. This is out along to the west of Austin. The Llano River snakes through that county, and that could eventually cause some issues downstream, especially when it comes to this flooding threat. So as we look at the rest of today, we have those conditions remaining mostly just quiet for us for the first half of our day, but you're able to see a little speck of a downpour out in the Houston area, but areas off towards the west, we're still going to be impacting in terms of those scattered showers and storms, especially along I-10. You have San Angelo just the north of Junction. So they're still expecting some more rainfall out in central Texas for today. They're going to be under a flood watch until 1 p.m. And it's not going to be until this evening is when we're going to get a break from all of this rainy activity, not only for us, but for central Texas. However, things change for us tomorrow. We will see another disturbance moving our way that could bring more scattered showers and storms. And so we're going to have to really keep an eye on that rain potential. Might see some messy commute home if you are making your way across southeast Texas by Monday afternoon. That window of storm activity lasting between 12 o'clock and maybe 5 p.m. and then we will see mostly clear conditions in the overnight hours. And so as we look at future track for today, we are expecting it by 3:30 to see these downpours moving through, especially portions of Harris County. It's looking more likely that rain potential is going to be mainly north of I-10, and that's associated with that sea breeze frontal boundary that loves to move inland during the summertime. It usually starts off along the coast, and then once we head into the afternoon hours, it moves inland and it brings that shower and storm activity across areas from Houston to areas north of town. And so as we look at the weather setup by this coming next 24 to 48 hours, we have a high pressure system situated off towards the west. We still have a lot of moisture moving into Texas, and what was the remnants of Barry was still there out in Mexico. That was that remnant definitely bringing some moisture, scattered showers and storms, but it's this disturbance that we see right here over the Gulf. That is going to continue tracking off towards the east, moving closer to southeast Texas in the Houston area, and that's going to be responsible for ramping up our rain chances for Monday afternoon. And so we are going to see a bit more scattered shower and storm activity in place heading into those afternoon hours, especially could be lasting until Tuesday as well. So it's likely that we're going to see more of an active afternoon for the most part by the start of our work week. We also have Tropical Storm Chantel had made landfall this morning off near Wilmington, North Carolina. Moving north at 8 miles an hour, winds at 40 miles an hour. We are expecting that latest track to continue. It's going to weaken into a tropical depression. However, look where that track is headed. It's heading towards Washington, D.C. in terms of that tropical depression. So they could be seeing quite a bit of rainfall out in the D.C. area and portions along the East Coast U.S. And so they're going to be in for some heavy rainfall as well as some possible flooding concerns. They're going to be looking at that flooding concern for folks in North and South Carolina. So as far as your 7-day forecast, high temps in the 90s, lows in the 70s, scattered showers and storms will be ramping up tomorrow afternoon, but we will see those conditions remain mostly just active at least through the next few days, especially as we head into those afternoon hours. So we're expecting those conditions to remain a bit active in terms of rain and storm coverage, especially for portions of central Texas. And so if you are heading out of town, I know it was 4th of July weekend, we had a lot of folks traveling across Texas and across Houston. So if you're heading out of town, Houston, high of 95, maybe 93 degrees for the most part, 87 in San Antonio. Austin, looking still stormy if you are heading along I-10 or along 290 towards Austin. Even Dallas is going to be seeing some storm activity. And so Galveston right now, we're starting off mostly calm and clear here across our area, across Southeast Texas. And we're going to continue to see those conditions remain mostly quiet, at least until 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. And that's when we will see that shower and storm activity start ramping up in terms of maybe it being an isolated downpour moving through our area. So today in Houston, high of 93, few clouds, isolated showers and storms possible with a 30% chance of showers for today. But like I said, radar, as we look at another snapshot of what we're looking at as of now, very quiet for Houston, but you have I-10, you have San Antonio, Austin. More of that storm activity is happening just south of Dallas. And so as we look at those rain totals, quite a bit of rain for the past 72 hours, which ultimately led to this catastrophic flooding for central Texas. And so we're continuing to hear updates coming out of central Texas, and because they've received close to 16 to 19 inches of rainfall accumulations along those major rivers. You have the Guadalupe that snakes just Kerrville, snakes into Canyon Lake, that's right there, that moves into closer towards New Braunfels. And you also have the Colorado River that goes into Austin, and they saw quite a bit of rainfall. This area has been under an extreme drought for the past few months, and so they needed the rain, but not all at once. And that's exactly what happened. And so those lakes and those reservoirs are able to actually retain most of the rainfall for the central Texas, but of course, we are still tracking the latest as they're still trying to recover from this catastrophic flooding. And as of 8:07 this morning, we're still seeing flash flood warnings that are in place along the Llano River out in Mason County. And so we are expecting those conditions to remain mostly still stormy for areas out towards the east. That's all part of a mesoscale complex that's usually there's a center of this complex system that has just remained stationary over central Texas, and it hasn't gone anywhere. And we could expect that to dissipate as we head into the next 24 to 48 hours. But as far as other places in the country, we're seeing lots of rain moving into North Carolina from what is Tropical Storm Chantel. And so Raleigh is about to get some more of those heavier showers, as well as that storm moving off towards the north. So as we look at future track, if you're heading out towards the west, scattered storms are possible. The good news is it's not going to be as widespread and heavy as what we've seen in days past, or the past couple of days if you're heading off towards San Antonio or Austin. However, those grands are still very saturated. Those rivers are still pretty swollen, so it's not going to take much additional rain to cause more flooding concerns, especially where you see those isolated downpours if they do fall over those major watersheds or those major rivers that run through that region of Texas. And then we will see rain chances ramp up for us. This is not a part of that system that was dumping all that rain out in central Texas. This is a part of another system, another disturbance that's moving in over the Gulf. That is going to be moving our way. So don't think that just because you see widespread showers and storms that's the same system that they were dealing with out towards the west, out in central Texas. This is all a part of a disturbance moving over the Gulf. However, we still need to be extra vigilant in terms of the forecast as well as rain accumulations, because it doesn't take much to cause flooding in our neck of the woods here across Houston. So I know with us, they have the flash flooding threat out west. we have that, of course, we have a lot of concrete here in Houston, and that usually ends up causing some flooding concerns. And so as we look closer towards 3 o'clock today, we could see more of a scattered downpour situation that might not even last long, but if those storms remain stationary is when we see some problems. So as we look at the next few days, that disturbance that I was just showing you, moving over the Gulf, that's going to be heading our way and bringing more scattered rain chances for Monday afternoon. We could see a similar scattered storm situation for Tuesday. So expecting those conditions to remain mostly quiet for this morning. Highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s. We will expect to see rain chances ultimately diminish by the end of the work week, but we very well are going to be remaining hot and humid by Friday and Saturday. So definitely pay attention to those heat safety measures if you do have the kids out in the pool, as well as if you hear thunder, if one of these isolated downpours make their way closer towards you. Remember, just when the thunder roars, head indoors. That's the saying when it comes to pool safety. You don't want to be outside in a pool when there's lightning around you. So definitely have a safe rest of your 4th of July weekend. And we are expecting warm and humid conditions, but we will ramp up those rain chances for Monday afternoon. Again, I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your extended weather update.